A government shutdown is triggering a wave of political and economic tensions in Washington. In an exclusive interview with One America News, President Donald Trump spoke about possible federal worker firings, permanent project cuts, and even direct cash payments to Americans, all as part of his administration's handling of tariffs and the rising national debt. Well, the federal government partially shut down on Wednesday after lawmakers failed to reach a funding agreement. Essential services continue, but non-essential operations are on hold for now.
Well, there could be firings, and that's their fault, and it could also be other things. I mean, we could cut projects that they wanted, favorite projects, and they'd be permanently cut. So you could say, a lot of people are saying Trump wanted this, that I wanted this closing, and I didn't want it. But a lot of people are saying it because I'm allowed to cut things that should have never been approved in the first place, and I will probably do that.
Well, Trump also pointed to the ballooning federal debt, which now stands at $37.64 trillion, up from $36 trillion just a year or two ago. Now, he claimed that despite the increase, the U.S. is now under-leveraged due to higher revenue streams.
The numbers we have now are bigger than they ever were. So when you have $36 trillion in debt a year ago or 2 years ago, and you have a lot less revenue coming in, then you have 37 or 38. It's not 38 yet, but it will be. And the numbers are so much bigger. All of a sudden, 38, you're under-levered, whereas for 36, you were highly levered. We're not highly levered anymore. Now, with that being said, we'll pay back debt, but we also might make a distribution to the people, almost like a dividend to the people of America.
Now, according to Trump, that dividend could come from tariff revenues, which he says are just beginning to kick in. He estimates that the U.S. could generate over $1 trillion per year from tariffs, a number that far exceeds the Treasury's own estimate of $500 billion annually, as cited by Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent. Now, to date, the country has collected more than $200 billion in tariff revenue. Meanwhile, inflation is reported to be stable, hovering near the Federal Reserve's target rate. But for consumers and businesses, the real-world impact is still being felt. Trump says Democrats are standing in the way of reforms that would crack down on fraud, waste, and abuse in federal programs.
Well, I mean, they're political people. One of the other things is fraud, waste, and abuse. They don't want to have anybody, I mean, the whole thing is crazy. When you find obvious fraud, you want to take care of it, waste and abuse. And they don't want anything to change, and what that's going to do is ruin it for the people that are tax-paying great American patriots.
And while political battles dominate headlines, the latest economic data shows more stability in the labor market. The Chicago Fed says the U.S. unemployment rate remains at 4.3%, unchanged from the previous month, even as tariff revenues and inflation rates play an increasingly complex role in the economy. And for more on this, our correspondent Susan Tehrani has sent us this report from New York. Listen in.
President Trump is preparing to scale back or shut down federal agencies amid the current government funding impasse. He's identifying Democrat agencies for cuts, and the administration has already instructed federal departments to start planning for mass layoffs and not just traditional furloughs. As the shutdown enters its second and possibly third day, about 750,000 federal workers are being furloughed or working without pay, with essential services continuing. The move signals President Trump's efforts to use this shutdown as leverage to permanently reduce parts of the federal government. Susan Tehrani reporting from New York for WION World as One.